So it's the first of it's the 1st of December still. This is my third upload. Um, I'm sharing these pieces of information with you that I have in front of me that kind of establish my track record as a teacher, contrary to um, local lies and defamation that have involved identity theft. The violations of privacy I've experienced have led to theft of my personal information, and that information being used by individuals that have been responsible for worse than this incident. In fact, only over a decade ago, they perpetrated an incident of revenge porn that was publicly broadcasted on MySpace and Bebo and advertised in magazines that I wouldn't be too fond of. So, my professional status has been defamed. My marital status is, after being defamed, I'm a married woman, a mother. As well as that, my private life has been intruded upon and defamed. Um, the intrusion of mental health professionals due to these culprits causing these problems, when it's really them that need the assessments and treatments, um, is very serious. As a victim of these culprits in society that have harassed me from my homes, that have caused unemployment for me, that have caused ill health with what, intrusions they've perpetrated. Um, this matter that has been ignored due to the obstructions and perversions of justice that have been involved in this situation are all very serious. So I have references in front of me of my experience as a teacher since 2003. My first reference was from the Green School, the CBS. Emer has been teaching as a part-time teacher in this school for the last year and a half. She's extremely bright and motivated person and has endeavoured herself and both students and staff, etc., in various activities. That's one reference. My personal information has been stolen from me on several occasions. Blennerville National School, another place where I worked, a glowing reference. Mercy Secondary School, another glowing reference. An excellent young lady in every respect, intelligent, caring, trustworthy, committed and loyal. She's been teaching in the school for a few years. Her general performance in class and feedback from parents was very satisfactory. Her classes were well prepared. She handled discipline issues with consistency and understanding and was always open toward receiving advice and suggestions. That's one other reference from Mercy Secondary School, Mount Hawk. Another reference from Our Ladies in St. Brendan's. That's just another reference. Blennerville National School again. Just to say how I displayed a kind and encouraging manner with the children, and their contributions were affirmed and managed appropriately. She showed concern for and interest in the welfare of the children, many of whom were actively learning during the lessons. Another reference from a career guidance counsellor in the town. Emer has a proud and impressive record of community involvement. Emer has a keen sense of personal responsibility and will work effectively and enthusiastically without the need for supervision or direction. Another reference from the Stellick National School. Hardworking, conscientious and punctual. Another reference from Presentation School. So these are my references as a teacher, and my qualifications are from the University of Limerick and Hibernia College. The lies and defamation that individuals around this town have violated and altered and deleted without my consultation or without even so much as authorizing it adequately or officially or legally, even though they shouldn't even be ever near my information, is just another aspect of this human rights violation that's occurring. Now, as a married woman in HAPS accommodation and as a victim of crime, hate crime, human rights violations, I don't know who my neighbours are. And for the guards not to have, local guards especially, not to have informed me about matters that are in relation to my situation is very serious. As I've said, I've not been consulted on a lot of matters, but there's been a lot of calls and claims that have been made to institutions that have no business involving themselves with me. In the meantime, there's individuals that need those people's help, those services, assistance for what they're suffering from. And identity theft is a very serious toxic mental ailment as far as I'm concerned. The level of intrusion that people have gone to steal my information, to ruin my family life and my marriage and my career and my livelihood and my earnings, just goes to show how serious a situation this is. The obstruction of justice is the most serious aspect for all women, because if this is happening with me, then what will be happening in the future? So basically, I've mentioned how people have been contacted by me, politicians, civil liberty agencies, etc., have all been contacted by me. But also, my phone, this has been also interfered with. Um, Transactions on my phone that I'm not actually transacting. So between my hard copy information and personal information, my technological data and information, the violation of privacy by the culprits that are causing these problems and causing these offences and causing this trouble, very serious trouble, besides the spiritual violence that has been involved in all of this, just shows how intrusive every aspect of my life has been violated. For people that have no business with me, that have no authority to be even talking about me without knowing me, is just, another point that I'd like to share about this incident of hate crime. Um, so, as a teacher who has been defamed by, adults, troublesome adults with nothing else better to be doing, trying to be something that they're not, trying to prove something that they're not proving very successfully, achieving um, nothing. There's nothing to be achieved from this. So, whether they're trying to avoid the fact that they owe for a lot of damages and losses of my earnings and physical injuries, whether that would only seem to be the apparent reason for this obstruction of justice that's occurring, because the 29 human rights violations are very serious. It's not just constitutional issues, because with regards to the Constitution, I have also sought from politicians information that would be pertaining to me, that is relevant to me, and that is within my right to request. The legislative changes and alterations that I haven't been provided information about is yet another tactic and cause for concern, considering all the unlawful acts and injustice, etc., being perpetrated in this town. So, identity theft, soul theft, light body theft, financial theft, property theft, etc., has all been conducted in Tralee, County Kerry, tidy town. So the violation of my privacy and identity theft is the main concern of this upload. So as a tenant of HAPS accommodation, and actually as a married woman in this situation, I wonder, have the guards, authorities, civil liberty agencies and the politicians any notion of ever confronting the serious wrongdoing that's been perpetrated for the most unnecessary and most senseless reasons. Anyway, um, that's what's happening at this stage of the night. My data on my phone, etc. Violations of privacy, technology, etc. Professional defamation. At what cost?